evening, you guys. Thank you guys so much for actually engaging and actually watching the videos on this channel. And I hope you guys are enjoying this particular video as well. And I hope this video has you and most importantly sees you well. With that down the way, you see the title of the actual video. Basically, what happened was, to my understanding, there was an actual brawl, as we call it down south, at the Harriott 2. Basically, what happened, the gentleman went to the point where they actually were arguing about docking the actual boat. A boat got in the front of the Caucasian gentleman, so they decided they were going to go up there and have words with the black gentleman. I'm just gonna say names of racists. Not that I'm racist. I'm saying it like that because I'm not saying names out of respect, and most importantly, this is an ongoing investigation. But it basically is a brawl that went wrong. They were to the point where everybody was trying to double team the actual man that worked on the Harriott. So he decided that he was gonna let them know what time it was, and they messed around and found out. So basically, in my mind, I say allegedly, is a fight that got out of hand. It started over something as small as docking the boat, and he felt like somebody was overstepping their boundaries. Now, the actual Caucasian man is actually supposed to be a legitimate entrepreneur out of Selma. Now, I'm gonna say allegedly, according to actual sources, and I actually called down there. Majority of these people that you see in that video actually did go to jail, including a female who was Caucasian also. But from what we can see, actual footage and also testimony from people actually down here where I am, which is Alabama, it was basically they messed around and found out and realized that the black man who was actually a actual employee of the Harriott, I say allegedly, was not going to take no mess off of him, and he messed around and told them what it was, and he showed them what it was. Now, when they got to the point they were trying to double team him, a young 16-year-old boy actually was swimming across the actual river and came up there onto the boat. He didn't take no breaths because I watched it 3 or 4 times. He got there, started windmilling on the gentleman. And there's to the point everybody started running over there and started taking hits with them. Now, the man that actually hit the Caucasian man with the chair, he was in question. He was to the point where people actually were wanting to pay for him to actually get representation. Now, quiet as it's kept, this thing has reached so many social platforms that Miss Stephanie Mills, this is confirmed, this ain't allegedly, was actually going to do an actual concert to actually raise money to get said people representation. Now, with that out of the way, my understanding was that it would mess around. You go to the Harriott, if you know, it's pretty much a good time. A lot of people rent the Harriott just to basically go and be able to see, Montgomery through the water and actually have a good old time. Now, it shocked me that they actually was down there windmilling acting the way they was acting. I think what happened, they messed around and found out, just like I said, and it was a lot of alcohol involved, and people just, pretty much was in their feelings. Now, the man that actually hit that chair, he hit the white man with the chair. He actually went viral for doing that. People to the point now, they making T-shirts, they making memes, they doing the most. They pretty much done put Carly Russell on the back burner in order to put the Montgomery brawl that happened down at the Harriott, and we down here in Montgomery call it the Riverwalk Amphitheater. That's where you have to go through and actually get down there. Now, don't get it twisted now. That particular area is beautiful. They actually have concerts over there at the Riverwalk Amphitheater where they actually have the actual concerts that you don't actually have to really dock the boat in order to go there. You can stay and be on the grass area. Now, I was down there that day, but I was down there helping out, volunteering, giving out backpacks. But to know that these people was down here cutting the food, as my grandma would say, on Beyonce's internet, and basically was to the point they just, I don't know what these people was thinking. They don't know what they was thinking, but charges was filed. People to the point they went jail. Now, I personally don't see nothing wrong with it because at the end of the day, like three Caucasian men was trying to actually double team that man that actually hit him with the chair. So when the little young guy actually swam up there and helped him out, that's when everybody else started windmilling. And they say, police came out from everywhere and they basically tried to defuse the situation. They actually couldn't get him to stop doing anything at first, but eventually they got called for reinforcements and the gentlemen were actually escorted out. And also the actual Caucasian men, they actually escorted as well. Now the streets are saying that, pretty much everybody is on the actual black man's side, and there was two other black men involved as well. But if you can see from the footage, I say allegedly, it was basically everybody was trying to tag team on the black man, so he decided that he was gonna, retaliate and basically try to get them back. But when I seen him, he would hit him with that chair, I knew it was over with. At the end of the day, if you watch wrestling, a steel chair and a sword don't go together. Now, I personally don't feel bad. I personally think that the man that actually was swimming and the 16-year-old, he should be commended. Now, the only thing I have a problem with in that same scenario is that they're going to look at him as the culprit because they feel like, hey, he was windmilling, he was doing this and doing that. But I'm thinking that the 16-year-old was probably much the only one that threw hands that didn't get no charges filed on him. Now, the rest of them did, but I'll go back and get confirming from jail officials to make sure. But at the end of the day, as a person who's been here for years in Montgomery, I don't see no wrong with it. I'm to the point where, hey, if you to the point where you put hands on me, just get ready for hands to be put on you. Now, I don't know about the chair situation. I might not have did that one because I might have been scared I might hit them the wrong way and mess around. They would have been unalive. But with that being said, that's pretty much a recap, and that's pretty much what was going on down at the Harriott. But don't let that disturb you, and most important, don't let it discourage you from going to the Harriott, because it's a good time being had on that riverboat if everybody's to the point they drink responsibly, and they basically stick to the conversation at hand, and most important, they enjoy the festivities. Now, I don't think it's going to be a minute. In other words, I know it's going to be a minute before they decide letting people come down there, because at the end of the day, the mayor had a press conference, and the mayor was shook. Now, quiet as kept, people are saying that Mima, because that's what we call her down there, which the governor, she to the point, Kay Ivey, that she didn't like it, and it basically had the mayor actually do her dirty work and address us. Now, according to them, actually, charges were filed, and the proper procedures being taken, and they're letting MPD handle it, and they're going from there. Now, like I told you, the girls are windmilling, and most importantly, anytime Stephanie Mills or anybody steps on the plate, decide they want to do a concert to help these people with legal fees, they ought to tell you something. Now, the young man is being commended. There's also a lady that was out there, was a Caucasian lady. She lost her job at another place for being out there, but she ended up getting a job with the Harriott. So at the end of the day, the ancestors are proud. I am to the point where I am proud, because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna let nobody put hands on me, especially if it's racially motivated. But you already know how the justice system is. It is what it is. We got to see how it play out. I personally think that everybody's to the point where they should be okay. But I think the man that hit the guy with the steel chair, he the only one that might have an issue, because you already know anytime it's dealing with Caucasian people, it's just a lot. I'm just hoping to get decent representation and basically consider that actually as self-defense. Now, quiet as kept, the Caucasian man messed around and found out and realized that, hey, it wasn't about them hands, it was about that chair. People to the point now, people running out getting chairs, they putting the guns down. So with that actual aspect, we are making progress, because Montgomery has a lot of murder and rapes and stuff like that going on in here. I hated to see that at first, but I actually had to look at a couple of tapes, and I actually had to get the word from confirmed sources. So I'm the type of person, I don't like to take nothing half-ass. I don't like to do nothing half-ass. If I report something, I want to report the facts, and that is it, and that's all. Now, as a resident of Montgomery, Alabama, and I've been here for years, I'm proud, but I hated he had to go to that point where he had to get that chair. But if you keep replaying it back, you can understand why he took precautions the way that he did. Now, as far as that actual scenario is concerned, like I said and I reiterated, basically the Caucasian men were on the boat talking smack, and they was to the point they was mad because they couldn't dock the boat, and they felt like us as black people, we were the reason. So that's why they jumped off the boat and started windmilling. And it just a big brawl that ensued, and basically was a lot of miscommunication. People had too much alcohol, and it is what it is. That is not to the point that I'm trying to justify anything. I'm just speaking and saying what I seen, and most part what a lot of other people are saying. And I'm the type of person, I don't make the news, but I will report it. It took me a minute to actually make a video on this, One, because I'm ashamed, I had to get my facts straight. But I personally, feel like, hey, the ancestors are proud. People making memes with Martin Luther King up there, that's a bit much. But hey, each his own, do what you do. I think at the end of the day, Martin Luther King would pretty much be proud. He probably wouldn't been proud of that chill situation, but he been proud of our people standing together and doing what's right. Because at the end of the day, our ancestors had to basically get fought for doing normal stuff that we should have been had privileges and rights to do. Now I hate it had to get to the point where they had to throw hands, but it is what it is. Now you up to the point where you actually had to see the video, then you free to comment down below. Most importantly, if you didn't catch this video, catch the replay and be able to tell me what your comments are and how you feel about the situation. Now, with that being said, I personally hope that they can get this resolved. Everybody go to court, and I'm hoping that justice will be to the point it's served. I'm not gonna say whether or not the black people to the point in the eyes of the law where they will get off. That's not necessarily here nor there. But I tell you what will be done down here in Montgomery, justice will be served. Now that the Caucasian people, quiet as kept, people are saying they out of Selma. So that says a lot about a lot at the end of the day. But what shocked me is that they was racist like that and came up here and thought that they could do whatever and that we was gonna let them get away with it. Now, you can feel how you want to feel about that last statement that I said, but that's just how I feel. Because you don't disrespect nobody and feel like you should be rewarded for doing that. You see what I'm saying? But down south, we don't play that anyway. I'm telling you that straight up. It ain't had nothing to do with where it was at, none of that. They don't tolerate disrespect. But I was kind of shocked to see how he did that. I said, I would be lying. So I was concerned people are wanting to shit them on. A lot of people are hoping that they can get people at least get bail and get out of jail and get ready to get their defense together. I'm thinking that appropriate representation and get a fair trial, I think a majority of them will be okay. Not saying all of them might not get assaulted. We down south, they pretty biased down here. It is what it is. We the traffic ticket capital of the world. But I try to get on here and reputate with you guys and let you guys know how I felt about the situation. I will still be keeping you guys updated as far as what's going on with the situation, whether or not the actual gentleman has gotten out of jail, what the charge is going to be, and the powers that be are saying. Now, if history to the point where it's a reputation, actual man said, then it looks like he was a little bit to the point where he was disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Considering he is a black person himself. But you got to understand, put your hood bitch sticky cap on and realize that if somebody is attacking, you don't turn into you're not going to get rushing anyway. So with that being said, you got to take yourself. One like the black man decided you're going to go and hit that man in the head with a chair for nothing. But people to the point now they selling T-shirts. I think somebody had some earrings with the shells on it. They did one of the most. Carla Russell to the point that she able to be all right because that's going on. That's what really had me took her. And I had to chuckle. I said to myself, baby, they went down there and they beautiful the culture, honey. You hear me? They was not playing with them. They let them know that we will not stand for you actually doing us anyway, kind of way, showing racism and thinking you're going to get away with it. Now, thinking if the Caucasian gentlemen had not gotten off the road and hit the man, I don't think it would even gotten to that point. I think they would have pretty much been able to squash that beef. Really what had me tickled was somebody actually got the inside view of somebody sitting inside the boat and looking at it from inside the boat. Baby, I screamed. I said, these people in Montgomery, everything, because that's pretty much what I got. That everybody was united on one front, and that was whooping some. You know what? I don't have a problem with people defending themselves, but I had a little issue about the little shell and the fact that people making light of it and they actually was laughing. Now that part I didn't like. But you can't tell people how to feel, and most important, you can't tell people what to feel. But as far as me being a resident of Alabama and seeing what they had going on down there, I was proud because our people stood together and we put out our guns and we got out there and we windmilled. And at 16, I told somebody, I said, if he don't be smart with it, if he don't get any charges, I hope he'll swim and go and try to get to the Olympics. So baby, that baby was swimming. Do you hear me? He swam out of there. He got started winning on everybody. I was so tough. But lady, like I was telling you, she did her job with Harriott after that. So her downfall turned into an actual job. So she lost 2 jobs and ended up getting 1. But I think the reason why they probably gave her job is for one, she earned it and deserved it. And most importantly, it was letting the people know that, hey, we stand with you and we are to and I appreciate you guys so much for the support on the channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my other videos. Leave your girl a comment. Have a great day.